What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another Manchester City transfer update. Before I do crack on with today's video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Remember, doing daily Manchester City transfer updates here on YouTube from June 1st. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. We're aiming for 300 likes. Smashed it on the last transfer update, so any help towards that on this transfer update would be greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to get your thoughts in the comments below. Finally, I want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Sofascore. Sofascore are going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest football scores from around the ground. So keep you up to date with the latest match information, the latest team news, the latest statistics, and so much more. Not just limited to football, it's got you guys covered for all the scores and information for all the sports that you guys love to follow, all in one place, all in one app. It's a free app to download, very highly rated, and anyone that does download using my link in the description or the QR code on screen does help to support the future content created here on my channel. So we've got no contract news, we've got just one story to speak about in the out, and it's an update on Maximo Perrone. Now, Fabrizio Romano has said that Como in Italy are working towards and making progress in signing Maximo Perrone on loan from Manchester City on a season-long loan. Como are working to try and make this deal permanent. That's what we were discussing in the transfer update from last week. We know that there's other clubs that are interested, including Inter Milan, who the latest update on that have said that they're looking towards a permanent deal rather than a loan deal for Maximo Perrone. So there is a bit of competition. So Como are favourites. They do believe they have a clause to make the loan signing happen for another season. So another season on loan. They're working towards trying to make that permanent. Manchester City right now are getting some interest in Maximo Perrone on a permanent basis, and what I'm expecting to happen here more than likely will be a simple 12-month extension to the loan deal for Maximo Perrone to Como, and Como will include in that a purchase option. Remains to be seen whether that would be an option to buy or an obligation to buy. I imagine City will be looking towards an obligation to buy, in particular if Inter Milan are wanting to make this deal permanent, so I will keep my eyes and ears open when it comes to developments on Maximo Perrone. But as I said in my last transfer update, I'm expecting Maximo Perrone now to not be a Manchester City player. He might be in name, but certainly with the deals in place, I'm expecting maybe not to see Maximo Perrone in the sky blue of Manchester City, maybe ever again. Now, moving on to the ins, we've got just one story to speak about, and we've had a big development. Rodrygo over at Real Madrid. Now, Relevo in Spain have said that Rodrygo is going to speak with Real Madrid at the end of the season to discuss his role as a player in the team. It's thought that he would be open to leaving Real Madrid. Manchester City were keen on signing Rodrygo last summer, and it is believed that Manchester City still hold an interest in potentially signing Rodrygo from Real Madrid. It's also believed that Arsenal are keen on signing Rodrygo as well. Rodrygo is a 24-year-old Brazilian attacker from Real Madrid. Real Madrid are believed to be asking for around 100 million euros, which today's exchange rate we're looking at 85.2 million pounds. I've seen some unofficial rumours circulating saying that Real Madrid could be tempted to sell for anywhere between 60 and 80 million pounds, so there may be a bit of negotiation on that fee if Manchester City do want to make a move. Thing is here, Real Madrid, I can't see them wanting to sell to another Premier League team. I certainly can't see them being keen on selling to Manchester City. They don't like us. La Liga don't like us. I can't see them being that keen on selling to Arsenal. Arsenal were the team that knocked Real Madrid out of the Champions League this year, and I can't see Real Madrid being keen on making Arsenal a stronger, better team with Rodrygo in it. So will they be able to force for a sale to somewhere else is the question. And if Rodrygo does want to walk away and Arsenal and Man City remain the two teams that are keen to make the transfer happen, there could potentially be a little transfer battle here. Now, Rodrygo Rodrygo has played 30 times in La Liga this season with Real Madrid. He's grabbed 6 goals and 6 assists. It's not been his best of seasons, if I'm being completely honest. He did flourish the season before as a front three at Real Madrid, where you saw Rodrygo on one side, Vinicius Jr. on the other, and Jude Bellingham going through the middle. However, since that's been mixed up with Kylian Mbappe coming in, at times it's looked a bit disjointed from Real Madrid, and they've suffered from some defensive problems, some suspensions, some injuries and stuff, but it's just not quite clicked in attack as well. And I always felt like, as I was saying last summer, if there was ever going to be a fall guy for these Galacticos, these big names coming in for Real Madrid, I always felt like Rodrygo was the odd one out for them. So this news that's been reported just doesn't surprise me at all. Manchester City were interested last summer. Real Madrid weren't keen on selling for last summer, and I said keep an eye on this in the next 12 months because there will be some fallout from Real Madrid bringing in the likes of Jude Bellingham and Kylian Mbappe and having an egotistical Vinicius Jr. there as well. And to me, there was always going to be that fallout, and Rodrygo was always going to be the fall guy. And 12 months later, here we are discussing once more Manchester City being keen on making a move. So we will see. I'm expecting some interest to come in from Rodrygo from Saudi Arabia, who I'm sure would be willing to offer him crazy money to make that transfer happen. And to be honest, I can see in the next season or two that being the case for Vinicius Jr. as well. It appeals to a lot of South American players to go to Saudi Arabia and play and earn that big money. We're seeing it with Edison, our goalkeeper, of course, and he won't be the first or the last that chooses to take big money. I'm talking 3, 4, maybe even 5 times the current wage that these players are on, with a lot of that money being tax-free as well. So it appeals to a lot of players. It appeals to a lot of international players, Brazilian players, for example. So I can see Rodrygo and Vinicius Jr. heading to Saudi Arabia if there's crazy money on offer. If Rodrygo doesn't want that and he wants to stay in Europe, Man City will be a club of interest to him. He's already buttered us up before. The question is, how can we make Rodrygo work at Manchester City? As I said, he's an attacker. He's very versatile. He can play on right wing, left wing. He can go through midfield. He can play as a striker. He can drop a bit deeper. To me, I think he'd flourish. I think he'd do really well at Manchester City. I just can't see Real Madrid selling to him. And even though he's not had too great of a season, I think a lot of people's judgments are getting clouded by how he's been this season and not kept an eye on how he's done in previous seasons. I think if you had the determination and he had that mental attitude to really achieve and do well, and he was willing to listen and work with coaches, I think he'd really improve under Pep Guardiola, and I think he'd really excel at Manchester City. I'm just not too sure this is the kind of signing that City would be looking for. In particular, we were getting reports last week coming in from Sam Lee at The Athletic, who was of course saying that Manchester City were looking to try and bring their wage bill and their wage structure down. They'll be looking for high quality young players, but they'll be looking for more raw upcoming talents rather than proven superstars. And Rodrygo might not be the very biggest name at Real Madrid, but certainly still a really big name in world football, and certainly a player that would command a really high wage. And we're getting to a point here where Man City may want to go out there and do maybe one big signing for the summer. I can't see Manchester City doing 2. So it remains to be seen. There's a lot of money that City are going to spend this summer. There's going to be a lot of players that we're going to get linked with. Will they choose to make a move for Rodrygo? We'll have to wait and see. I have my doubts about the transfer, but I would like to see City make a move for Rodrygo. I also have some concerns that if it's not to be City and it's another Premier League team, I think whichever Premier League team does end up bringing Rodrygo in, if he comes to the Premier League, they're certainly going to be a stronger team for having him there. So I think that's just, again, something that City have got to be really wary of. He goes to Arsenal instantly become a better team with Rodrygo there. So there's just something that City have got to think about. Right now, my instincts are I don't think City will end up making the move, and if Rodrygo does end up leaving Real Madrid, I can see that being Saudi Arabia rather than to any club in England or any club in the Premier League. But I might be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. So that's been today's transfer update. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Get your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. It is free. Remember, daily Manchester City transfer updates from June 1st for you guys to enjoy throughout the whole summer transfer window. I'll keep you up to date with all the latest City transfer news every single day. Also, don't forget social media links there in the description as well if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. And finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Sofascore. I'll see you all again real soon for the next one. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.